Good morning, students. Standard 8, Chapter 3, Understanding Quadrilaters, Part 2. In the previous class, we have started a new chapter, Chapter 3, and we have studied polygons. What do you mean by polygons? A polygon is a closed curve made up of only line segments. Then we have studied classification of polygons. Polygons are classified according to the number of sides they have, and triangle is the smallest polygon. After that, types of polygon, convex and concave, and regular and irregular polygons. Angle sum property of quadrilateral. The sum of the measures of four angles of quadrilateral is 360 degree. That means the sum of the measures of interior angles of quadrilateral is 360 degrees. Then we have completed exercise 3.1. I hope you have studied all the definitions and completed your notebook. Today we are going to study some of the measures of the exterior angles of a polygon. You can open your textbook page number 42, and in the page number 43 you can see one activity. Do this. They are given one polygon. Draw a polygon on the floor using a piece of chalk. We want to know the total measures of angles, that is measure of angle 1 plus measure of angle 2 plus measure of angle 3 plus measure of angle 4 plus measure of angle 5. They are called exterior angle of this polygon. So they are saying that how to start this activity. Start at the point A, walk along AB. On reaching B, so what you have to do? You turn through an angle of measure 1, right? To walk along BC. So start from A and along AB you can walk. Then if you want to go through C, so what you have to do? You have to turn through an angle of measure 1. And when you reach at C, again you need to turn through an angle of measure 2 to walk along CD. And when you reach at the point D, you need to turn through an angle of measure 3 to walk along DE. And when you reach at E, you need to turn through an angle of measure 4 to walk along EA. It's clear? So you reach the same point, starting point. So what you observe here, see the angles. So when you turn angle 1, so this much, right? Again turn angle 2. So that means you have to turn like this, angle 2. Again angle 3. So it comes here, angle 3. Then angle 4 here and angle 5. So what do you observe here? Angle 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That means you made one complete turn. That means one full turn. So what is the measure of angle at a point? It is called 360 degree, right? Therefore, measure of angle 1 plus measure of angle 2 plus measure of angle 3 plus measure of angle 4 plus measure of angle 5 is equal to 360 degree. You can do this activity at home and check whether you are getting 360 degree or not. That means whether you are making one complete turn. Clear? Therefore, the sum of the measures of the external angles of any polygon is 360 degree. So you can underline this and by heart it, the sum of the measures of exterior angles of any polygon is 360 degree. And we have studied the sum of the interior angles of quadrilateral, that is 360 degree, and pentagon, hexagon, heptagon. If the angles are more, triangle already we have studied, that is 180 degree, and pentagon, hexagon, heptagon. We have studied one formula, interior angle, that is n minus 2 multiplied by 180. In the last class, exercise 3.1, question number 4 we have studied. There is one formula. So according to that, we can find the interior angle, sum of the measures of interior angle. So that will be different for different polygons, but in any polynomial, always the measure of external angle will be 360 degree. It's clear? So interior angle will be different for different polygons, but exterior angle will be same for all polygon, that is 360 degree. It's clear? Try this from page number 43. Take a regular hexagon. So they given one figure and it is regular hexagon. Hexagon means there are 6 sides and regular means all sides and all angles are equal. Question number 1. What is the sum of the measure of its exterior angle x, y, z, p, q, r? So they are asking that what is the measure of this exterior angle? Already we have studied the measure of exterior angle of any polygon, that is 360 degree. So we can write answer like this: angle x plus angle y plus angle z plus angle p plus angle q plus angle r is equal to 360 degree. So write the answer here, 360 degree. It's clear? Because if any polygon, the sum of the measure of exterior angle is always 360 degree. Second question is x is equal to y is equal to z is equal to p is equal to q is equal to r, y. They are equal, and why? What is the reason for that? Can we say these all exterior angles are equal? Yes, already we have studied in a regular hexagon, in a regular polygon, all interior angles are equal. So this is interior angle and this is exterior angle. So interior angles are equal. So what is the exterior angle? These both are linear pair. So the exterior angle is equal to 180 minus interior angle. Suppose this A is equal to 120 degrees. So what is R? 180 minus 120, that is 60 degree. Same way we can find all exterior angles. Suppose here A and X. A is 120 degrees. So what is X? 180 minus 120, that is 60 degree. The same A and Y. A is 120 degree because this is regular hexagon. So what is Y? 180 minus 120, that is 60 degree. Same way all these exterior angles are equal. So what you can say? Yes, in a regular hexagon interior angles are equal. So we can say that exterior angles also equal. It's clear? You can write here yes, and reason you have to write yourself, because this is a regular hexagon. In a regular hexagon all interior angles are equal. So exterior angles are also equal because interior angles plus exterior angle is equal to 180 degree. It's clear? The question number 3. What is the measure of each exterior angle? So before finding this exterior angle, what is the sum of the measures of this regular hexagon? So either you can by heart this, or already we have studied exercise 3.1 question number 1. If any regular hexagon, suppose there are n sides, so there is a formula I told you to by heart. What is the formula? That is n minus 2 multiplied by 180 degree. So this is the formula to find angle sum of any polygon. So you can use here n minus 2 multiplied by 180 degree. What is n here? Number of sides. So n is here 6. So we can say that 6 minus 2 multiplied by 180 degree. What is 6 minus 2? That is 4. You can write here 4 multiplied by 180 degree. And 180 minus 4, we know that is 720. So you can multiply yourself and check the answers are correct or not. So 180 multiplied by 4, that we got 720 degrees. So what is the total measure of regular hexagon? That is called 720 degree. It's clear? So total measure of angles of a regular hexagon we got, that is 720 degree. So measure of each angle. So total angle is 720 and there are how many angles? 6. So what is the measure of each angle? 720 divided by 6. So you can write here, that is 720 divided by 6. And division also you can do it yourself. Divide and check whether answer is correct. So 720 by 6 we got, that is 120 degree. So measure of each angle of regular hexagon is 120 degree. So what is the meaning of this? Interior angle is 120 degree. So how to find exterior angle? Exterior angle plus interior angle is 180 degree. So exterior angle is equal to 180 degree minus 120 degree, that means is 60 degree. It's clear? So 180 minus 120, we can say that is 60 degree. So interior angle is 120 degree and exterior angle is 60 degree. Exercise 3.2, find x in the following figures. And they given one figure and we have to find the value of x. They are exterior angle, right? 125 is exterior, again exterior angle, x also exterior. So already we have studied sum of all exterior angles of any polygon is 360 degree. That is 125 degree plus 125 degree plus x is equal to 360. 125 plus 125, that is 250 plus x is equal to 360. So x is equal to 360 minus 250. You can subtract and check. Answer is 110 degree. It's clear? Question number B. Again, we have to find the value of x. So here given 60 and this symbol is 90. Again 70 x and inside interior angle is 90. So what is the exterior angle? That again 90 degree because they are linear pair. Clear? So already we studied sum of all exterior angle is equal to 360 degree. So that means 60 degree plus 90 degree plus 70 degree plus x plus 90 is equal to 360 degree. Clear? Now we can add all the numbers. 90 plus 70, that is 160 degree. 160 plus 90, that is 250 degree. 250 plus 60, that is 310. Plus x is equal to 360 degree. Find the value of x. 360 minus 310, that is 50 degree. It's clear? So whenever this symbol gives, that means 90 degree. And here exterior angle is not given, but they given interior angle and the sum is always 180. So this is 90, so this angle also 90 degree. Question number 2. Find the measure of each exterior angle of a regular polygon of 9 sides and 15 sides. So we have to find each exterior angle and it is given regular polygon of 9 sides. Clear? So 9 sides. So exterior angle, right? So sum of all exterior angles of the given polygon is 360 degree. Each exterior angle of a regular polygon has the same measure, right? So regular polygon we are already studied in the try this. If it is regular, interior angles are equal, so exterior angles also same. Okay. This measure of each exterior angle of a regular polygon of 9 sides. The total measure is 360 and there are 9 sides. So 9 exterior angles should be there. So 360 divided by 9, that is 40 degree. And this question number 2, 15 sides, you can do it as yourself. That is homework for you. Question number 3. How many sides does a regular polygon have if the measure of an exterior angle is 24 degree? It's clear? So you have to find number of sides for this regular polygon if its exterior angle is 24. Sum of all exterior angle of the given polygon is 360 degree. This already we have studied. And measure of each exterior angle is 24. Clear? So how many sides? So number of sides of the regular polygon is equal to total measure of the polygon divided by measure of each exterior angle. That is 360 degree divided by 24. You can divide yourself. 360 divided by 24, that is 15. So what is the meaning of this? There are 15 sides for this regular polygon if the measure of each exterior angle is 24 degree. It's clear? Question number 4. How many sides does a regular polygon have if each of its interior angle is 165 degree? So in the last sum we have studied exterior angle is given and how to find number of sides. Here interior angle is given. So measure of each interior angle is equal to 165 degree. We know that exterior angle plus interior angle is 180 degree. So measure of each exterior angle is equal to 180 degree minus 165 degree, that is 15 degree. It's clear? Now The sum of all exterior angles of any polygon is 360 degree. So number of sides of the polygon is total measure divided by measure of each exterior angle. That is 360 degree divided by 15 degree is equal to 24. The division you can do it yourself and check this answer is correct or not. 360 degree by 15 degree is equal to 24. What is the meaning of this? If interior angle is 165 degree, then the regular polygon have 24 sides. It's clear? Question number 5. A. Is it possible to have a regular polygon with measure of each exterior angle as 22 degree? So question is, can a regular polygon having each exterior angle 22 degree? Can a regular polygon have each of its exterior angle is 22 degree? Clear? So we have to check. So the sum of all exterior angles of all polygon is 360 degree. Already we know. Also, in a regular polygon, each exterior angle is of the same measure. So if it is a regular polygon, its exterior angle should be same. Hence, if 360 is a perfect multiple of the given exterior angle, then the given polygon will be possible. It's clear? So if the question is given like this, what you have to do? You have to divide this total angle by 22. If you are getting perfect multiple, that means if the remainder is 0, then we can say that the given polygon will be possible, otherwise no. You can divide and check whether 360 is divisible by 22. It is not divisible, then we can say that no. Okay. So 360 divided by 22. You know that 22 ones are 22. 6 minus 2, that is 4, and 3 minus 2, that is 1 and 0. And what will be next one? 5 is 6. 6 are right. 6 2s are 12. 1. 6 2s are 12. 12 plus 1, 13. So what is the denominator? Remainder 8. Can we say it is perfect multiple? No, because remainder is not 0. So what we can say? 360 is not a perfect multiple of 22. Hence, such polygon is not possible. It's clear? So, each exterior angle is given 22 and total measure is 360. When you divide, if the remainder is 0, we can say that it is possible. If the remainder is not 0, it is not possible. It's clear? Now, B. Can it be an interior angle of a regular polygon? Why? So, question is, can we say 22 degree is an interior angle of a regular polygon? So interior angle is 22 degrees. So what is exterior angle? 180 minus 22, because this sum is always 180 degree because of linear pair. So 180 degree minus 22, that is 158. Again, divide 360 by 150. If you are getting remainder 0, so we can say that it is possible. Otherwise, we can say that it is not possible. So this division part you have to do yourself. Check whether remainder is 0 or not. Clear? I am not doing division here. Then you can do it yourself. So if the remainder is 0, you say it is possible. Not 0, not possible. So such a polygon is not possible as 360 is not a perfect multiple of 158 degree. So when you divide, you can understand that remainder is not 0. So we can say that it is not a perfect multiple of 158 degree. So this polygon is not possible. It's clear? Question number 6. A. What is the minimum interior angle possible for a regular polygon? B. What is the maximum exterior angle possible for a regular polygon? And we know that polygon means simple closed curve made by line segments, and which is the smallest polygon? Triangle. So what is the least possible number of sides for a polygon? That is triangle, and it has 3 sides. And here question is regular polygon. Regular means all sides are equal, all angles are equal. So in a triangle Which triangle is called all sides and all angles are equal? That is called equilateral triangle. So consider a regular polygon having the lowest possible number of sides, that is an equilateral triangle. And how many angles for equilateral triangle? 3. So how many exterior angle? That also 3. It's clear? Now the exterior angle of this triangle will be the maximum exterior angle possible for any regular polygon. It's clear? So there are 3 interior angles, so 3 exterior angle. And what is the sum of the measures of exterior angle of any polygon? That is 360 degree. So exterior angle of an equilateral triangle is equal to 360 divided by 3. Okay, this is the total measure of exterior angle divided by number of exterior angle. There are 3 exterior angle. So 360 by 3, that is 120 degree. It's clear? So this is the second part. The maximum exterior angle possible for regular polygon, that is 120 degree. Hence, maximum possible measure of exterior angle for any polygon is 120 degree. Also, we know that exterior angle and interior angle are always in a linear pair. That means sum of exterior angle and interior angle is 180 degree. So, what is the minimum interior angle? 180 minus 120 degree, that is equal to 60 degree. Otherwise, directly we can write, because it is an equilateral triangle, we know that in an equilateral triangle all angles are equal and sum of the measure is interior angle is 180 degree. So 180 by 3, that is 60 degree. Either you can write 180 by 3, that is 60 degree, or you can say like this: sum of exterior angle and interior angle is 180 degree, that means linear pair. So minimum interior angle is equal to 180 minus exterior angle is 120. So 180 degree minus 120 degree, 60 degree, which is easy for you. You can go through that method. Not compulsory you have to write like this. Clear? So first you find exterior angle, then interior angle. Either you can divide 180 by 3, or you can subtract 180 minus exterior angle. Both answers are same. Both method also same. It's clear? Next topic is kinds of quadrilateral. That means kind means types. Okay. First one, trapezium. Trapezium is a quadrilateral with a pair of parallel sides. In a quadrilateral, a pair of parallel sides are there, then we can say that it is a trapezium. So underline in the textbook. And they are given some figures of trapezium and some figures are not trapezium. We will find out why these are trapezium. In this quadrilateral, there are 4 sides. One pair of opposite sides are parallel. Here again, these 2 sides are parallel. Here also you can see these 2 sides are parallel. That means one pair of opposite sides are parallel. So we can say that it is a trapezium. But in this case, here these opposite sides are not parallel. So not a parallel trapezium. Again here 1, 2, 3. But here there are 5 sides, right? So trapezium means 4-sided figure. So again it is not a trapezium. Again here no sides are parallel. So it is not a trapezium. Study the above figures and discuss with your friends why some of them are trapezium while some are not. The arrow marks indicate parallel lines. So here arrow mark means they are parallel. So trapezium means it is a quadrilateral with a pair of parallel sides. The next one, isosceles trapezium. If the non-parallel sides of a trapezium are of equal length, then it is called isosceles trapezium. What is the meaning of this? Trapezium means one pair of opposite sides are parallel. So we can see that these two are parallel, right? And they say non-parallel sides. What are the non-parallel sides? This, right? And this. So these two sides are equal length. Equal length means suppose this is 4 centimeter. So this length also 4 centimeter. Clear? That means both are equal. So this type of trapezium are called isosceles trapezium. So in the notebook, you have to start like this. Types of quadrilateral. First one trapezium, and you have to write the definition of trapezium. The next one you write isosceles trapezium and write the definition. Non-parallel sides of a trapezium are of equal length. Then it is called isosceles trapezium. You have to draw one figure. It's clear? So what are the things we are going to study? What are the types? So that you have to write in a geometry notebook. B. Kite. Kite is a special type of quadrilateral. The sides with the same markings in each figures are equal. They given some figures. This figure AB and AD are equal and BC and CD are equal, right? So these are called kites. These two sides are equal and these two sides are equal. Again, these two sides are equal and here these two sides are equal. These are not kite. So why? Because here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is five-sided figure, but kite means four-sided figure. So it is not kite. Here, opposite sides are equal. So kite means not opposite sides. Distinct consecutive pairs are equal. So these two sides are equal and these two sides should be equal. But here given opposite sides. So it is not kite. Again here, 1, 2, 3. That means these three sides are equal. This side is not equal, right? So again, it is not a kite. Study these figures and try to describe what is a kite. What a kite is. Observe that a kite has four sides. So how many sides for a kite? Four sides. There are exactly two distinct consecutive pairs of sides of equal length. Distinct means different and consecutive pairs. So these two are called consecutive pairs, or we can say these two are consecutive pairs. So either these two are equal or these two are equal, or we can say these two are equal and these two are equal. So that is called consecutive pairs. So kite means that it has four sides and exactly two distinct consecutive pairs of sides of equal length. So this definition also you have to write in the geometry book. Second one, that is kite, and right, kite is a special type of quadrilateral, and you have to write these 2 points and you have to draw any one figure. It's clear? Third one, that is C, parallelogram. A parallelogram is a quadrilateral, as the name suggests it has something to do with parallel lines. So they given more figures. They are parallelogram and here they are not parallelogram. And in the first figure, here AB and DC are parallel and AD and BC are parallel. Clear? And second one, PQ and SR, these two are parallel, and PR and QS, these two sides are parallel. Here LM and ON are parallel and LO and MN are parallel. That means opposite sides are parallel. Here AB is parallel to CD, but these two are not parallel, so it is not a parallelogram. That means both uh, both sides are parallel. Opposite sides are parallel. Here no sides are parallel, right? So it's not a parallelogram, and here more than four sides, so again it is not a parallelogram. So what is parallelogram? A parallelogram is a quadrilateral whose opposite sides are parallel. You have to write next one, see parallelogram in the notebook and write this definition in the notebook and draw some figures. It's clear? Elements of a parallelogram. You can open your textbook, page number 47. There are four sides and four angles in a parallelogram. We know that in a parallelogram, it has four sides and four angles. Here angle A, angle B, angle C and angle D. Sides means AB, BC, CD and AD. Some of these are equal. There are some terms associated with these elements that you need to remember. So already you have studied in the previous classes. So let's recall all the things. Given a parallelogram ABCD, here AB and DC are opposite sides. We know that AB and DC are opposite sides and BC and AD are another opposite sides. The next one, opposite angles. What are opposite angles here? Angle A and angle C are opposite angles. Angle B and angle D are another opposite angle. The next one, adjacent sides. AB and BC are adjacent sides. The next one, BC and CD are adjacent sides and CD and AD are adjacent sides. And AD and AB is the next adjacent side. So you can underline all this one. That is, first we have studied opposite sides. The next one, opposite angles. And the next one, adjacent sides. And the last one, that is adjacent angles. What are adjacent angles here? That is angle A and angle B. So these two are adjacent angles. Angle B and angle C and angle D and angle D and angle A. They are at the ends of the same side. So angle B and angle C are adjacent. Identify other pairs of adjacent angles. So what are the things we have studied? Opposite sides, opposite angles. The next one, adjacent sides and adjacent angles. Clear? Now, properties of parallelogram. Page number 47, you can see one property, that is the opposite sides of a parallelogram are of equal length. So, in a parallelogram, opposite sides are equal. Clear? The next property, that is second one, you can open it, page number 48. The last one, before try this, you can see that the opposite angles of a parallelogram are of equal measure. So, in a parallelogram, opposite angles are equal. So, here first one, opposite sides are equal. Second one, opposite angles are equal. And third property, that is in page number 49, the adjacent angles in a parallelogram are supplementary. What is the meaning of supplementary? Their sum is 180 degree. That means angle A and angle B are adjacent angles. So angle A plus angle B is 180 degree. Same way angle B plus angle C is 180 degree. So adjacent angles of a parallelogram are supplementary. And fourth one, that you can see in page number 50, the diagonals of a parallelogram bisect each other. What is the meaning of bisect? It divides into two equal parts. The diagonals of a parallelogram bisect each other. Bisect means it divides the line segment into two equal parts. So that are the four properties of parallelogram. You have to by heart and you have to write in a geometry book. Clear? Exercise 3.3. First one, given a parallelogram ABCD, complete each statement along with the definition or property used. So you have to complete here. AD is equal to dash. You know that AD and BC are equal. So it is property, right? In a parallelogram, opposite sides are equal. Okay. Angle DCB. Here angle DCB. So this angle DCB means this angle. Angle DCB same as, you can say that angle DAB. So these two are opposite angles of a parallelogram. Like this you have to write properties and what are the angles or what are the sides are equal. It's clear? Now OC is equal to dash. OC and OA are equal. That is the last property. Diagonals bisect each other. So OC this side and here this OA. So both sides are equal. Measure of angle DAB plus measure of angle CDA. DAB plus CDA. So sum of this angle plus this angle, they are called adjacent angle, and adjacent angles of a parallelogram are supplementary. So what is the sum? That is 180 degree. It's clear? We will go through the answer. So you have to write in the max notebook like this answer. Copy the question and write the answer. In a parallelogram, opposite sides are equal in length. Therefore, AD is equal to BC. Second one, in a parallelogram, opposite angles are equal. Therefore, angle DCB is equal to angle DAB. In a parallelogram, diagonals bisect each other. Therefore, OC is equal to OA. And fourth one, in a parallelogram, adjacent angles are supplementary to each other. Therefore, measure of angle DAB plus measure of angle CDA is equal to 180 degree. It's clear? Question number 2. Consider the following parallelograms. Find the values of the unknown x, y, z. You have to find the value of x, y, z. So this is 100. So what is the value of x? We know that they are adjacent angle and the sum is 180 degree. So x plus 100 is equal to 180 degree. So what is the value of x? 180 minus 100, that is 80 degree. It's clear? Now, z and x both are opposite angles. So in a parallelogram, opposite angles are equal. So x is equal to 80. So z also 80 degree. Clear? And y and this angle B and angle D are opposite angles. So angle y is equal to 100 because they are opposite angles. Clear? You have to by heart all the properties, all the definition. Then only we can solve the sums very easily and it will be clear for you. Question number 2. They given one figure. You have to find the value of x, y, z. So here 50 and we know that this sum is 180 degrees. So 50 plus y is equal to 180 because adjacent angles are supplementary. So y is equal to 180 minus 50, that is 130 degree. and this y and x both are opposite angles, right? So y is equal to x, that is 130, opposite angles are equal. And what about this x and z? So see, this is parallel, right? And this is transversal. In the last year we have studied these two are parallel and this is transversal. So this angle and this angle are corresponding angles. Clear? So we can say that these two angles are corresponding angles. So x is equal to z, that is 130 degree because of corresponding angles. The third one, we have to find the value of x, y, z. Look at the figure. The given one symbol. What does it mean? It is 90 degree. And these two angles are vertically opposite angles, right? So we can write x is equal to 90 because vertically opposite angles. And this triangle, right? Here in this triangle, sum of angle is 180 degree. That means x plus 30 plus y is equal to 180 degree. X we got 90. So 90 plus 30 plus y is equal to 180 degree. And 90 plus 30, that is 120 degree, plus y is equal to 180. So y is equal to 180 minus 120, that is 60 degree. It's clear? So x we got 90 and y we got 60 degree. And what about the value of z? These two lines are parallel and this is a transversal. So z and y are alternating interior angle and they are equal. So y we got 60. So z is also 60 degree. So z is equal to y is equal to 60 degree alternating interior angle. Is it clear? Yes. Now question number 4, that you can do it as homework. And question number 5, you have to find the value of x, y, z. Here this is the parallelogram, it's already given. So opposite angles are equal. So we can say that y is equal to 112. That is opposite angles are equal. Now see here, this is a triangle. So we can write x plus y plus 40 degrees 180 degree. Angle sum property of a triangle. And y we got 112. So we can write x plus 112 plus 40 is equal to 180 degree. So x plus, what is 112 plus 40? 152. So x plus 152 is equal to 180 degree. So what is the value of x? 180 minus 152 degree, that is 28 degree. It's clear? So we got value of y and we got the value of x. Now we have to find the value of z. Look at the figure. Again, these two lines are parallel and this is the transversal. So these two are alternating interior angles. So two lines are parallel. So alternating interior angles are equal. So x we got 28. So z is also 28. So z is equal to x is equal to 28 degree because of alternating interior angles. It's clear? Question number 3. Can a quadrilateral ABCD be a parallelogram if angle D plus angle B 180 degree? And second one, AB is equal to DC is equal to 8 centimeter, AD is equal to 4 centimeter, and BC is equal to 4.4 centimeter. Third one, angle A is equal to 70 degree and angle C is equal to 65 degree. So question is, if angle D plus angle B 180 degree, can we say this ABCD be a parallelogram like this? Okay. So first one, for angle D plus angle B 180 degree, quadrilateral ABCD may be parallelogram if the following conditions are fulfilled. So what are the conditions? The sum of measure of adjacent angles should be 180 degree. So just draw a parallelogram, it's more clear for you. Suppose there is a parallelogram ABCD. Just imagine that this is a parallelogram. And this is A and this is B and this is C and this will be D. Clear? And if angle D plus angle B, question is this angle plus this angle, if it is 180 degree, can we say it is a parallelogram? So opposite angle should be of the same measure. So first one, sum of the measure of adjacent angle should be 180 degree. So that property I already explained. If adjacent angle sum is 180 degree, we can say it is a parallelogram. So either angle A plus angle B 180 degree or angle B plus angle C 180 degree, or angle C plus angle D, or angle D plus angle A is 180. So here they are given angle D and angle B, that is opposite angles. So we have studied that opposite angles should be equal, right? And second condition, opposite angles should also be same measure. So ABCD can be but may not be parallelogram. So this sum is 180 degrees. So there is a chance for each angle is equal. That means sum is 180 degrees, so each angle is 90 plus 90. So there is a chance. So we can say that it can be, ABCD can be parallelogram but need not be a parallelogram. It's clear? Second one, AB is equal to DC is equal to 8 centimeter and AD is equal to 4 and BC is equal to 4.4. So AB and DC are equal. So these two, they said these both are 8 centimeter, but they given here BC is 4.4 centimeter and here AD is 4 centimeter. Both are equal? No, they are not equal, right? Both are different. So we have studied that in a parallelogram, opposite sides are equal, but they are not equal. So here AD is not equal to BC, thus ABCD cannot be a parallelogram. It's clear? The next one, angle A is 70 degree, angle C is 65 degree. So one angle is 70 degree and this angle is 65. But we have studied the property in a parallelogram, opposite angles are equal. But here angle A and angle C are opposite angle, but they are not equal. So ABCD is not a parallelogram. It's clear? Question number 4. Draw a rough figure of quadrilateral that is not a parallelogram but has exactly two opposite angles of equal measure. So you have to draw a figure. It is not a parallelogram but its two opposite angles are equal measure. So ABCD is a rough figure of quadrilateral in which measure of angle A is equal to measure of angle C, but it is not a parallelogram. That means it is a kite. So here draw a kite, and here in a kite these opposite angles are equal. It's clear? So it is not a parallelogram but angles are equal. That figure is called kite. So just draw a kite and this angle A and angle C here are equal. Question number 5. The measures of two adjacent angles of a parallelogram are in the ratio 3:2. Find the measures of each of the angles of the parallelogram. So, let ABCD is a parallelogram such that the ratio is given adjacent angles. So, let us take angle B and angle C. They are adjacent angle and the ratio is given 3:2. So, whenever ratio given, we know that measure of angle B is 3x and measure of angle C is 2x. Clear? So let measure of angle B is 3x and measure of angle C is equal to 2x. And sum of the measure of adjacent angle is supplementary. That means 180 degree. That is measure of angle B plus measure of angle C is equal to 180 degree. That means measure of angle B, it's 3x plus measure of angle C, that is given 2x. So 3x plus 2x is equal to 180 degree. That is 5x is equal to 180 degree. So x is equal to 180 upon 5. You can divide yourself 180 upon 5 and check the answer is correct or not. 180 divided by 5. So that is 360 degree. So x we got 360 degree. Now you have to find the value of angle B. So that is angle B is 3x. So 3 into 36, that is 108. And angle C is 2x. So 2 into 36, that is 72 degree. So angle B is equal to 108. Now we know angle B and angle D both are equal because it is a parallelogram, and in a parallelogram opposite angles are equal. So angle B and angle D is equal to 108 degree, and angle C and angle A, again they are opposite angles and they are equal. So angle A and angle C is equal to 72 degree. Hence the measure of angles of a parallelogram are 108 degree and 72 degree, and again 108 degree and 72 degree. It's clear? Question number 6 and question number 7, you can do it as homework. And the remaining sums from this exercise we will do in the next class. So before our next class, you have to learn types of quadrilateral and its properties. It's very important, and you have to complete your notebook. Thank you.